The word Akan is something that is relatively vague and refers to a large group of people. Generally, this term is applied to the community of related peoples residing in the southernmost forested regions of what is now called the republics of Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire. The many common cultural traits of the Akan people blur the differences between these related groups in general, and this compounded with the fact that during the 18th and 19th centuries, the Asante, or Ashanti, became a rising cultural influence and launched a large expansionist policy, which resulted in the culture of the Akan at large being referred to as the Asante culture. The stool in the Asante culture is extremely important. As Dorian Ross states, they are the most crucial element to Akan regalia, only followed by the sword. This enormous significance is largely due to its oral tradition and the historic and political primacy of the object. Yet this is something that is highly ingrained in the Akan culture in general. To the Akan, art is not only for aesthetic contemplation, but is also a part of a complex system of thought. It can generate philosophical debate, even when it's utilitarian. Akan art serves many functions, probing moral concepts, articulating and communicating ideas, and remembering the dead. A vehicle for this is a highly developed verbal tradition, which plays a distinctive role in Akan culture. Such oral traditions are exemplified by the story of the golden stool.
Here in Ghana, we have a golden stool, pure gold. It was not manufactured, it was conjured from the sky by a local priest called Akan, a spiritual golden stool. This golden stool unites all the Ashanti kingdom.
To elaborate on the story of the golden stool and the importance of the stool to the Asante kingdom in general, it is said that Asante founding chief Ose Tutu was presented with the golden stool that was conjured from the sky. It floated to earth and landed in front of his knees. Founding priest then explained that the stool represents the soul, or son of the Asante nation, and that the health of the entire nation depends on the safety of the stool. Additionally, Chief Tutu then destroyed all the stools throughout the kingdom, and presented allied chiefs with new ones. This stool, made of pure gold, stands at 18 inches high, 24 inches long, and 12 inches wide. It is so sacred that it has never touched the ground, and no one is allowed to sit on it. Each new king is lowered and raised of the golden stool without touching it, in a ceremony that is required for them to become a legitimate ruler. All Asante stools pretty much have the same basic form, with variations in the central support. Carved with the grain running horizontally, a central column rises from a step base to support a curved rectangular seat. Every Akan person has a personal stool carved just for them. Nobody else may sit on that stool, for it contains the personal power of the owner. This personal power is believed to be held within the seat, or circular part of the top of the stool, which is identified with the soul of the owner, symbolic to the identity of the person, similar to the son of the Asante nation. The themes in the base of the stool reflect the importance of the person. Gold and/or silver embellishments and animal images such as the elephant are examples of this. Messages are often put in the center of the column, or just a space used solely for decoration. Close analysis of a specific stool can tell you a lot about its owner. For example, this brass-covered stool most likely would have accompanied its owner to a public ceremony. Intended for display, it incorporates distinctive formal elements and reflects the patron's wealth, status, and power. Another example is the Bite Obiso stool, which means someone sits on top of the other. It serves as a symbol of hierarchy and seniority and social structure of the Asante nation. From the expression Obite Obiso, which has the literal translation of someone sits on top of the other, or someone sits on someone else, this symbol does not only point out the hierarchical structure of the Akan political organization, but it also points out the ordered structure of society. Since its arrival in the Akan culture, the Asante stool has been used in a variety of contexts. They constitute an important part of the furnishings of a household, carry symbolic meanings as icons of ritual power, and act as repositories of the souls of their deceased owners. Sharon Patton explains that the stool has four main functions, first being a utilitarian object found in every household where any one person may own a number of stools. Second, the stool is an object associated with rites of passage. For example, when a child begins to crawl, it means that he has survived the dangerous period of infancy. The father gives him a stool. In this instance, it denotes continuity of life. Or during the female puberty rite, a girl is placed ceremoniously on a stool, signifying admission into womanhood. The third function of the stool is a sacred object. In everyday context, it is imbued with the first being of its owner, and if the person's essence or spirit, or sun, is absorbed into it upon every sitting. Consequently, the sacredness of the stool increases with contact of its owner. To prevent another person's sun from entering it, a stool is placed on its side when not in use. The stool is also a sacred object when in association with prestigious persons. Through it, people establish and maintain contact with the ancestors. A fourth function, and the most important purpose of the stool, is a political symbol. The chief is a crucial political unit in a Akan society. He is the decision maker. Every chief has one or more stools, which he uses to identify and legitimate his rank. The history of the Asante stool survives in Ghana today, where there are many emblems of political, judicial, and social leadership, being the most important of the chief's regalia. That it has strong political associations is evidenced by the fact when a person becomes a chief, he is installed in the office. During his rule, he is said to sit upon the stool, and when he dies, the Akan say, the stool has fallen. In no other West African culture is this object accorded with such significance.
Manyima